Okay, it's on.
This is Dale Johnson. It's January 3rd, 2005. This is part of the Veterans Project, and we're interviewing Arnold Miles of Clinton, North Carolina. I'm going to call you Arnold. Is that okay?
That's quite
all right. And give me your full name.
Arnold D. Miles.
And where were you born?
Duane.
As in Duane. Where were you born?
Ulysses, Pennsylvania.
And where were you raised?
New York State.
What's your
Thunder Lakes region.
What's your birthday?
17 December 25. I almost forgot that.
That's all right. And your parents were whom?
Jesse Miles and Ida Miles.
Okay. And where did you go to high school?
Churchford, New York.
Okay. And did you graduate from high school?
Oh, yes.
What year was that?
1943.
1943. And did you enter the United States Army about that time?
No, I entered the United States Army when I got to be 18 years old.
All right.
And 11 days.
And 11 days. Where did you enlist?
I didn't enlist. I was drafted.
Oh, you were drafted. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I didn't know that. All right. And where did you? When did you report for basic training? Approximately.
28th of March, 1944.
That's not bad. Where did you go through basic?
Camp Blanding, Florida.
Camp Blanding, Florida. Never heard of it.
I know. Neither has anyone else.
And did you have the equivalent of advanced infantry training after basic, like they have now?
I volunteered for the paratroopers.
Paratroopers, okay. And where were you assigned to go through paratroopers?
Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay.
11 weeks pre-jump training and 3 weeks of jump training.
Okay. And when you finished that, what unit were you assigned to?
Oh, I went to 101st Airborne in France. Mormelon-le-Petit.
Approximately what date would that have been?
I have no idea there.
It was in 1944.
It was in early part of December sometime.
Of 44.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. And what unit were you assigned to?
101st Airborne, 401st Parachute Infantry.
And did you go straight to France, or were you assigned first through England?
No, we went. I went from Fort Meade, Maryland. Got on the Louis Pasteur. We were torpedoed one day out of New York. We went in at someplace in northern England. Then we went down and went out at Liverpool. And we went in at Le Havre, France, and to Mormelon-le-Petit.
What was the weather like when you first got to France?
Oh, God, it's cold.
And approximately how long were you in England before you actually left England and went to Le Havre, France?
4 days.
That was a short stay, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. They needed us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, well, tell us what happened when you got to Le Havre, France.
Well, just after that, Bastogne broke out.
Okay.
And we went straight to Bastogne by truck.
Okay. And then that would have been, what, November of 44?
No, that was on my birthday.
Okay.
My 19th birthday.
And what date was that?
December the 17th, 1944.
Okay. So you had just arrived.
Oh, yes.
Fresh, right? 1940, a little over 60 years ago.
Just a little bit.
All right, when you arrived, tell us what happened at Bastogne.
We got the hell kicked out of us.
Were you actually in the little town of Bastogne at that
Yes.
time? Okay,
Yes.
and approximately what size town was Bastogne?
A little bit bigger than Clinton, maybe.
Okay. And approximately how many troops were in your unit or in the town of Bastogne, would you say?
Oh, 12,500.
12,000?
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we were full strength or not, but our full strength we were 12,500.
Now, were the Germans when you first got there, were they visible or were they just...
Oh yes, they were all over the place. Everybody else was leaving, we were going in.
Okay. Yeah.
And there was no give or take, it was all take.
No. And now tell us, I know it was one of the coldest winters in the history of Europe, that winter.
Yes, it was.
What was, when you first got there, give us a sample of what the, an example of what the temperature was like in the daytime and nighttime.
We didn't have any thermometers, but it must have been 0.
And what kind of wind did you have?
Big winds.
Big winds.
And deep snow.
Did you have winter equipment, clothing?
No, I was dressed in my Class A uniform.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Well, what did you do for warmth? Nice.
Ran a lot.
Did you really?
Oh, you
Ran from wherever you were going to wherever you got
in
to?
place.
Okay.
You didn't
In
get
place.
Out. You didn't get out anywhere.
What kind of boots did you have? Did you have the regular
I had
airborne boots?
My Class A, my jump boots on.
What, were you able to get any other kind of clothing to keep warm?
Not until sometime in January, first part of January.
And where did you and your unit house themselves? Were you out in the cold or were you in
Oh
the
no, we were dug in front line.
front line? Okay, and so your unit was not in the housing in Bastogne. You were on the perimeter.
No, the only ones in the housing was the headquarters, division headquarters.
Where were the residents of Bastogne? Had they left or were they still there?
So they were a lot of them were still there.
Okay, so the 17th, is that correct? Is that what you said when you got there, December 17th?
The
I mean,
17th
no,
of December is when we went in.
went in, yes, okay. And just generally, what happened over the next week or so? I know Christmas was a big time there.
Oh, the 23rd of January is when the skies finally cleared.
Right.
We quit getting snow. And it had been snowing all the time before that. Quit getting snow and we got, they dropped us in frozen turkeys cooked.
Already cooked.
Oh yes. Hang them up on a tree and just jerk off it. Oh, the best turkeys you've ever
You
tasted.
still like turkey?
Definitely.
That's good. Could
Love
you?
it.
Yeah. Were the Germans constantly harassing you? Our
They were
troops.
constantly fighting us, yeah.
Did you get to rest any at all during that period of
Nope.
time?
We were on
24 hours.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
What kind of casualties did your unit suffer?
Big time. There was 17 of us left when we came back out of it,
How many, out of your unit,
out of our battalion.
how many of you went in with your battalion?
Well, there were 4 companies in a battalion with 145 people in each company.
500, 600?
600.
Okay. So the skies opened up on December 25th.
And they dropped in all kinds, December 23rd.
23rd, I'm sorry. And how close did you get to the parachutes that were dropping them?
They dropped them right in on us.
Did they?
Oh yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Now the
C-47.
and at that time, were the Germans still surrounding you?
Yes, they were.
Now the famous statement by General Nichols. Did you ever see him, by the way?
General McCulloch.
McCulloch, you're right. McCulloch. The famous statement about surrendering. He said nuts.
Nuts.
And the Germans said nucha. What's that? All right.
But we said the same thing. That man's crazy.
Is that what you said?
Oh man, we were getting the hell kicked out of us.
Oh man. And by Christmas Day, what was your status then?
Still just the
Same. You got fresh food. Did you get any
We
clothes?
got fresh food. We got fresh ammunition. We were out of ammunition. We were out of food. We were out of everything.
And
When he said nuts, up by the way.
yeah, right. Now, what happened after December 25th at Bastogne?
Well, we started attacking.
The Americans were being more aggressive.
No, we left Bastogne.
Oh, you
Started
did?
Going out.
Oh, okay. On patrols, you mean? That
No,
kind?
not fighting. We were moving
Where were you moving to?
toward Berlin.
Okay. Why were you able to move in and weren't able to move earlier?
We
Had you-
didn't have anything earlier.
So the ammunition
We
that
didn't
came
have
in helped you?
ammunition. We didn't have anything.
I see. Okay.
And they were entrenched. They were there.
Mm-hmm.
We had to fight them out.
So you started going, what, the northwest toward Berlin, out of Bastogne? Is that
No, we were just going west
wherever that led you to
wherever
be?
the Germans were.
Yeah. And what kind of success did your units, or units that you were with, the 101st Airborne, have going out?
We cleaned them.
Good. And were there a great number?
You got to realize now, you got young people. Probably the oldest one was 25 years old. They've been taught that they couldn't be whipped. I don't care who put them. I myself, I could have whipped 40 Germans right there, single-handed.
How
I
tall?
knew I could.
I know. How tall were you, and how much did you weigh then? When you
I weighed 195 pounds.
No,
6
you
feet
did.
tall. Oh, yes, I did.
You probably could have.
11 weeks in pre-paratroop training to put some weight on it.
There you go. There you go.
And muscle. It was.
Now, did General Patton actually, his unit, get to you to rescue?
Yes, it did.
All right. Was that by the 25th? I'm trying to get that together.
I'm not sure the exact date. I believe it was the 27th.
Okay. Patton got there with his
Yeah.
tank corps.
I remember the guy coming down the road, getting out of his damn tank and saying, "We're here to help you."
Really?
Yep.
That's great. That's great.
And he was an old joker too. He was 45 years old.
Okay. So, when you broke out, when your unit broke out north to go toward Berlin, or go out toward Germany anyway, was Patton's group with you, or had you broken out on your own?
They were supporting us.
So they were supporting you at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to.
With his tanks.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. All right. Now, after you broke out of Bastogne, where did your unit go? The 101st.
Well, we advanced. I don't know how many miles it was, but it was a long ways, and then I think it was in the 20 last part of January. They pulled us out of there and sent us down to Alsace Lorraine.
Now, you pulled out of the Bastogne area when, for good? Was it?
Oh, we pulled out of there last of December,
Okay.
fighting to advance.
Okay. And all right, all right. Explain to me again where your unit went, the 101st Airborne, after you broke out of Bastogne. You said it pulled you back out.
No. Well, we fought until I believe it was the 27th of January.
Okay, that's what I was getting to. Now, where did you fight between the 27th of December and the 27th of January? What towns were they?
I don't even remember the time.
Would you have been in Germany? Did the border of is that Luxembourg, Bastogne?
Yeah.
The bordered on Germany then, is
Yeah.
that right? And that was kind of a railroad crossing or
No,
road crossing?
It was a road.
Road crossing. Okay.
I
Okay.
believe there was 5 main highways went into.
And you feel friend Bill Johnson now was fighting at Aachen, Germany about the same time. Now, how far would Aachen be from where the 101st Airborne? Don't know.
I have no idea, but it's right next. We were right next to it.
Okay, you were going in on the western side of Germany anyway. Okay. Now, your unit was pulled out in mid-January or January 27th?
I believe it was 27.
All right, now where did you go then? Where were you assigned?
Down to Alsace Lorraine,
Okay, which is,
Motor River.
okay, that was part of Switzerland at one time, Alsace. No, France.
No,
Is it-
France.
France, yeah, and the Germans took it over at one time, okay. What did you do there?
Well, we were supposed to be in a holding pattern,
Was that?
resting.
That's what I thought, holding
But
that.
we attacked from there. We went across the Motor River, up through Alsace Lorraine.
And what would it, that's actually the German border there, bordering France, is that right? Trying to understand. And what German, do you remember the name of any German towns that you fought in there? Okay. And so, what happened?
Back then, you didn't know if you were in Berlin or you were in
Right.
Paris or. Now you knew you weren't in Paris because you didn't have to figure out. But you knew the shit.
Right.
Excuse me, Diane.
I didn't get that.
You don't want to hear that.
I totally missed that.
You're glad you did.
Huh?
All right, and your unit fought in Alsace-Lorraine on into Germany. How long were you in combat there?
Alsace-Lorraine, we stayed in there until we went right from the Alsace-Lorraine. We were pushing so fast through there that we were getting into southern Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And in southern Germany, we couldn't keep up with them fast enough. We were taking prisoners.
Couldn't even keep up with you?
Thousands and thousands of prisoners every day.
Mm-hmm.
They were just walking in and surrendering the whole division.
Did you have any problems with any of the prisoners? If their commanding officers told them to do it, they did whatever?
Oh, they did it. They knew who we were.
That's right. Okay. All right.
And then we wound up in Bastogne.
Oh, again?
No, I'm not in Bastogne. In Berchtesgaden.
Berchtesgaden. Okay, the Eagle's Nest.
Hitler, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's Eagle's Nest.
Hitler's mountain hideout. And I was the first one up in that top of that thing.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I had took my tune up there and dig the snow out to get through the tunnels to get up there.
How about that? Now, approximately how many guys went up into Berchtesgaden? I mean, was it your whole division went?
Division, yeah.
And what did you find there in Berchtesgaden, in the Eagle's Nest? Hitler's...
Beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful city.
City was there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a city.
Yes, sir. Down from the Eagle's Nest is right on top of the mountain.
Right.
And the city of Berchtesgaden is down the bottom of that.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful city.
What size city is it? Was it large or,
Not very large.
And tell us what you saw in Hitler's Eagle's Nest.
Everything from the most beautiful oil paintings you've ever seen in your life to movies about him beating the hell out of women with a cat o' nine tails stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He had everything up there.
You have gold and silver, and did you find any of that?
Plenty of it, plenty of silverware. I shipped a complete set of silverware back from Berchtesgaden and never arrived in the United States.
They caught you, huh?
No, they didn't catch me. Some bastard got it on the way back.
That's good. Okay.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. After you went to Eagle's Nest, Berchtesgaden, where did your unit go then?
Oh, we went back to La Petite.
And was that for R&R? True R&R?
No, that was, they moved the whole unit back there
For what purpose?
to come back to the States.
Oh, okay. The war was over then, is what you
We
said.
were going to disband and come back. Well, if you had points enough, you could come back. I had points enough, but I wanted to come back with the 101st. But they disbanded the 101st, deactivated the 101st, and sent it to the 82nd Airborne.
Okay.
And at Camp Lucky Strike in Le Havre, France.
Mm-hmm. What rank were you at that time?
I was, well, at that time I was a tech sergeant.
Tech sergeant. Okay. That was 3 stripes and a rocker.
2.
2 stripes and a rocker.
Oh, yeah.
Why were you a tech sergeant? I mean, at that time, what did tech sergeant mean?
I was a platoon sergeant.
Okay. Okay. Well, I was in the Army too, but we didn't have tech sergeants when I was
We
young.
were in it way after tech sergeants disappeared.
There you go. So, after you came back to France, was your unit deactivated and you came back to the United States?
No, I came back with the 82nd.
Came back to the United States with the 82nd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where were you assigned then?
Fort Bragg.
Okay. And how long did you stay at Fort Bragg?
3 years.
All right. And at that time, had you elected to make it a career?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And what rank were
A
you?
whole lot better than milking down dairy cows in New York.
Well, you were used to the cold from New York, weren't you? But that's still a lot colder than
No, that was cold.
That was cold over there. What rank were you at the end of 3 years with the 82nd
I
Airborne?
was still tech sergeant.
You'd progressed a lot, right?
Came back to Fort Bragg and stayed at Tech Sergeant at Fort Bragg until they sent me to Camp Gordon, Georgia.
Camp Gordon. Now Fort Gordon.
Rehabilitate prisoners.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that.
Well, a real good friend of mine, he had shot a man and his wife in Chicago because they were shacked up. He walked in and I had a chance to rehabilitate him.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yes.
How'd you do that?
Turned out to be one of the best soldiers I ever had.
Is that right? So you were guarding rehabilitating American prisoners.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You didn't have, at that time, there were no foreign prisoners still. Okay.
We shipped all Germans back to Germany.
Right. Okay. So you stayed at Fort Bragg for 3 years. Where were you assigned then?
Camp Gordon, Georgia, then.
Okay. And you did that rehabilitation with prisoners, you said. Where did?
Then they sent me to Sandy Hook, New Jersey.
All right. What did you do there?
Well, I worked with prisoners.
Okay. And what rank were you there?
Still
a tech sergeant.
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you there?
Till 51.
Okay. What rank were you in 1951?
Tech sergeant.
Okay. What did you do? What happened to you in 1951? The Korean War was about to break out, or had it broken out?
It did break out.
It did.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about it. Were you sent to Korea?
Yeah, but that was the worst war we was ever in, outside of this one we're in now.
Tell us about that. Why you say that?
There was no discipline, no nothing.
Really? All right. Now, were you in the 82nd Airborne there?
No, I was out of the paratroop center.
All right. What unit were you sent with to Korea, or what?
Just as a replacement.
To what unit? You remember?
There was no damn unit. I was in a
Really?
I was in a company that wasn't attached to. It was an infantry company and was not attached to anything
Ah. Okay.
that I know of.
Yeah. That's what you were talking about, the lack of discipline.
Oh yeah. That's the lack
What
of
do you attribute that to? The lack of discipline.
Civilians run the army.
You mean as in the politicos?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Where were you assigned? Now, what city or area of South?
I was in Tucson and what the hell is the reservoir? Some
Yeah, I know what you
reservoir.
Yeah.
It was
Bad.
bad.
When you say bad, you mean from a military perspective?
From
Every
military,
perspective.
There was no military period. It was
Were the casualties large there?
oh,
Also?
yes.
American side. How'd you compare the cold there to the cold in Europe you were in 44?
Well, I was older and it was worse as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't as bad as it was. Bastogne was
Cold.
the coldest I've ever been in my life.
How long were you actually in Korea?
11 months.
And at the end, were you in any particular battles other than the,
No,
or was it
I was in fighting, but I
not a battle?
not in the big battle.
Right. And your company sustained a lot of losses in Korea?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so at the end of 11 months, what rank were you there?
Texas.
Okay, in 11 months, where did they send you?
They sent me back to Fort Dix, New Jersey.
All right, what'd you do there?
Well, I knew I wasn't making much progress, so I figured I better go back to school.
All right.
And I went to school for to get back to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I had done the working as a psychology tech.
As a psychology tech? Okay.
Administering psychology, all kinds of psychology
Right.
tests, tests and all that stuff. And then I went back and went to school in Fort St. Kentucky. And then I got back to that. And I had an opening for a what do you call it? Interviewing people for
Personnel?
Human resources officer, something like that.
you know, for nutty people.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, tell us what you did with that.
Well, just interviewed people, but personal histories.
Was that at Fort Sam Houston you did
No,
it?
I went to school there.
Went to school there, and then where you assigned?
Well, I went back to Fort Dix. And then I went to electroencephalography school. And I was
Okay.
taking brain wave tests.
Okay.
I'm
And
getting deeper into it all
I
the
know.
time.
And what rank were you then?
I think so. And then they sent me to Hawaii,
Okay. What year was that now?
1953.
Okay. Now, what was your MOS, or what was your purpose being sent to Hawaii?
I was an electroencephalographer.
Okay. And tell us what you did with that.
You take brainwave tests and read the test and tell if the person's got a if a person's got a tumor or anything on the brain.
So you actually were into the medical field at that
Oh,
time?
yeah.
Okay.
I
And
had a approved MOS by that time.
is that right?
Oh, I was a big shot.
An MOS, huh?
Oh yeah,
A military occupational specialist.
that's what it is.
And they were paying you real money.
Every
What rank were you in Hawaii?
But
Okay.
they sent a civilian who had applied for the job to Hawaii. Some civilian back in the States decided that they needed a civilian in Hawaii to take my job. So they sent him over there. And seeing they were paying him all that good money, a job came open as a first sergeant. And I went down as the first sergeant.
Wow, that. So you got a big jump from tech sergeant
And
to
then
first.
I got promoted to master sergeant or first sergeant,
All right.
whichever they have at that
Right.
time.
Right. So where were you stationed when you were you in Hawaii at that time?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And what was your job there? What did you do on a
I
day-to-day
was the
basis?
first sergeant of the company.
And your company
Had 600 and some people under me.
doing what kind of company was it?
Medical,
Medically related work. Okay. So how long were you in Hawaii?
3 years, 37 months to be exact.
37 months. Okay. What rank were you when you left?
First sergeant. Went to Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, where there was nothing but homesteaders. And by homesteaders, I mean people have been there all their life.
Okay.
There was one man there that had come in the Army, went to Fort Sam Houston, Texas, for basic medical training, gone to Valley Forge, and never left,
How about that?
and retired there after 21 years,
Okay. So how long did you stay at Valley Forge?
about 7 months.
Okay. What rank were you when you left there?
They made me a master.
Right.
They had made me no
Command.
rank over anyone. Corporal outranks you.
Okay. So what did you do then? What was
Went back to being a electroencephalography technician.
Okay, where were you then when you were?
Fort Dix.
Okay. How long were you at Fort Dix?
Oh, until they came out with a E8 and E9 position, and I went before the board and got E8.
Now let's explain what the E8 means to people who...
First Sergeant.
First Sergeant, okay.
And then I went back before the board a year later. You weren't supposed to get promoted. You was 2 years as a
In grade.
and I moved Sergeant Major.
Okay. So what...
1962.
1962, you became Sergeant Major. And explain what your authority was as a Sergeant Major, General.
I was the chief NCO of everything.
Is that on the division level?
Everything. Every company, every battalion has a sergeant major, every regiment, every division.
Okay. And where were you stationed when you became got that E9 grade?
Well, I was at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Right.
But as soon as I got promoted, I was sent to Camp Drum, New York.
Camp Drum. Okay. And what did you do there?
Sergeant major.
And what year was that?
We had that was 1962.
1962.
We had all the units coming in for summer training and all sorts of stuff as that.
So you entered in 1944 and you had continuous military in the Army until 1962, where we are now. You promoted to an E9 at that time.
That's right.
All right. Now, how long did you stay there, Camp Drum, New York?
5 months.
Okay. And then where were you assigned?
To Nuremberg, Germany.
All right. And what was your job there?
Sergeant Major.
Okay. And what kind of unit was it?
The medical hospital.
Okay. And
I was Sergeant Major of the hospital.
out of the hospital. Okay. I'm getting the connection now. Getting there, right? Yeah. Now, okay, how long did you stay in Germany?
2 years.
Okay. And where were you assigned then?
To Fort Redmond, Georgia.
Okay. Jump school?
No,
No?
hospital.
Hospital, okay. All right. How long did you stay
The
there?
mission there was to make the commanding officer of the hospital the Surgeon General of the Army.
Oh, okay. Were you successful?
Oh, yes.
Oh. How long did you stay at Fort Benning?
From 60... No, I'm sorry. I screwed up here.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right.
I went from Germany, I went to California, and then from California to Vietnam.
Okay. What year was that?
That was 65.
That's before you went to Germany, right? You went to Vietnam?
After.
After you went. Okay.
I came back and went to California. I wanted to be stationed on the West Coast one time. Went to California, stayed there 7 months, and went to Vietnam.
Okay. And tell us about that. Where were you assigned in Vietnam? What was your job and what?
We had the
Hospital unit?
medical battalion in charge of all hospital units, all medical personnel in Vietnam.
Wow. Okay. And was that a one-year tour for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Except I made it a 13-month tour so I could come back and go to all ballparks in the United States.
I see.
And I made that trip.
Good. All right. Was any combat involved while you were in Vietnam?
No.
Okay. You came back to America then. What did you do then? That was in
Went to Fort Benning, Georgia. Then.
Okay. That would have been in 66? Okay. How long did you stay at Fort Benning?
Until 68.
Still in the hospital capacity? Okay. And where'd you go in 68?
To Japan.
To where?
Japan.
Okay. Now, at that point, there was not a higher non-commissioned officer. You were as high as you could go at that point, correct? Let's see, you would have had In 68, you had 24 years, approximately 24 years in the military.
68.
Yeah, 44 to 68. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 years. Okay. So you go to Japan. What's your job in Japan?
Hospital.
Where were you assigned in Japan?
Camp Sama.
Okay.
Outside Turkey. 20 miles outside Turkey.
Were you getting wounded soldiers from Vietnam in there?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what was your actual
in our hospital.
what was your actual job on a day-to-day basis? Were you in charge of supervising all non-commissioned officers
Yeah.
or
Well, all
enlisted personnel?
enlisted personnel.
Right. Okay. And was this a large hospital?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like how many patients would you have in a day? Is it something like Sampson Regional or?
We could be 400 or 200 or 100, whatever came out of
Okay.
Vietnam, or 50 or
Okay. All right. After and when did you leave Japan?
1970
Okay. Where did you go then?
to back to Vietnam.
Back to Vietnam. Was that your desire to go back, or were you just?
Not necessarily. In fact, I hated the damn thing.
Did you? Okay. What was your job this time? Same thing.
I was Sergeant Major of Medical Hospital, Field Hospital
Where was it located?
in An K,
On K. And
up in the mountains.
how long were you there? I mean, in Vietnam.
What was that? 7 months.
Okay. And they rotated
And
you
I
out.
got shipped out with as a patient with amyloidosis,
Okay. Which is?
infection of the liver
Okay.
from drinking bad water.
Bad water.
Bad water. That's
Okay.
right.
All right. Now I've got a suspicion. I know what's fixing to happen. Right. You met your current wife.
No, I met her in Georgia way back then.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you tell us what happened when you got ill, sick. Where were you? Where did you go in the
They
hospital?
sent me back to Fort Bragg.
Okay. How long did you stay there?
Year and 2 months.
From that particular ailment?
Uh-huh.
Lose a lot of weight,
Oh yeah.
fever.
Went from 165 pounds to 120 pounds in about 5 weeks.
What type of medication did they give you to try to heal it?
And found a whole bunch of.
Antibiotics and everything else. Didn't work real quickly.
Oh, it did work.
It did. I thought you said a year and a month.
They opened me up from here all the way down.
Well, where did the bad water come from? I mean, is that just a?
Vietnam.
Okay.
I lived 2 weeks with the mountain yards.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They took me up there to resupply a medical outfit,
Uh-huh.
and the helicopter got fired on, and they left me.
Oh my God.
And I stayed up there with the mountain yard. But I couldn't even go to the bathroom without having one there, one there, one there, one back there.
Why was that?
They guarded you. They thought you were God.
I've heard that.
They
All-
really did.
Do you have any feelings about Vietnam as a war?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead and tell us.
We were. It was the worst thing that ever happened at the end. When I first went over there, first time I went over there, we needed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But the second time I went over there, it was that was 4 years later, and they had a bunch of potheads and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Discipline was,
Beautiful.
yeah. All right, you came out to Fort Bragg and you were sick, you say, for about 13 months. What did you do after that?
Got retired.
Did you?
Oh yeah,
Okay, what year was that?
1972.
1972. Now, had you met Ida Ray, your current wife, you said you'd met her earlier?
Yeah,
Where did you meet her?
Fort Benning,
What year was that?
1966.
Okay, and she was in the Red Cross, is that correct? And was she happened to be a nurse or something? Or
Well,
coming
she was in charge of Red Cross at the hospital.
at that hospital? Okay. So you retired in 1972 as an E9, is that correct? And then that would have given you approximately 28 years of service.
Right.
Okay.
And I
So,
retired because I had 2 broad stars could get 10% more. I'm sorry, 5% more, 2.5% for each Bronze Star.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, what were the Bronze Stars for?
They said I was brave and battle.
I believe that.
I was. I was.
You were scared just like the rest of them,
me.
weren't you? Okay, where did you live when you retired?
Right in this house,
When did you get married?
February the 29th of 1968.
Oh, I didn't know you had married Ida Ray by then.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I did not realize that you'd left
Hello,
that.
Gene.
So,
I couldn't use
yeah. So you got married in '68, and you married your current wife, Ida Ray. And then you retired in '72. Now tell us what you did after you retired and started living in this very house that we're doing this interview in.
Well, I didn't have a job for quite a while. In fact, I didn't want one.
That's
But anyway, after I got tired of loafing around, they called me one day and wanted me to go to the Board of Education. So I went to the Board of Education, and they wanted me to consolidate all the kitchens in all the schools in the city and the county. So they hired me as the head of the school food service for both Clinton City and Sampson County.
oh, well, I didn't know you did that. Did it work?
Oh yeah.
And then you
And I
started.
didn't know the first thing about food.
Tell us what you did. How'd you do that?
I just,
Organized them, huh?
you have to go out and get each principal to at that time, each principal had to, and I can tell you, there's 2 principals in this county that had big food service monies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, big amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
But they all had to turn all their money into the central office.
Mm-hmm.
And, excuse me,
When you get ready.
I'm going.
Hello. We can put it on Arnold. Arnold, you had a good friend that you met, John Wayne. Tell us about when you met John Wayne and your experience with him and what years that was.
That was when they made the Greenberry, I believe it was 1960 something. And the reason that I met John Wayne is because he had an allergy to a weed we had out in Fort Redmond, Georgia. And he would go out there to film, and his eyes would swell up until he couldn't see.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have to bring him in and give him an injection.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that we could give him an injection, because he was a civilian, is that the only reason we could do it was because it was an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And if it happened, we'd come into our emergency room. I'd go out and pick him up and hand carry him into the emergency room and get him a shot and take him back out and put him in his vehicle, and they'd take him back to the scene where they were shooting the movie.
Was the movie actually filmed right there around
Yes,
Fort
it
Benning?
was.
The entire movie, as far as you know?
Everything except the introduction of it up there at Fort Bragg, and the end of it was filmed at some other place.
And did you play any technical role in the movie
No.
itself? You just became a friend of his.
I just got to know John Wayne.
How big was he physically?
He was a huge person.
Really?
Ida Ray and whatchamacallit, Martha
Mm-hmm.
went down there, and they wanted their picture taken with John Wayne. So So I walked up and asked John Wayne if he would have to take him with him. And he said, sure, send him out here. And they went out there and Martha was standing next to him, and I was taking a picture. And Martha said to him, John Wayne, you are so big. Or Mr. Wayne, you are so big. And he said, and it's so goddamn fat too.
Oh.
They're not taking up.
Yeah, I know.
Now you're another one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Did you ever watch the series The Band of Brothers by chance?
I started watching it, Dale, and
Too upsetting.
it was, yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't get it through.
Yeah. Okay. Chad, you want to ask anything? Diane?
What?
Well, this can put it on me. This concludes the interview of Arnold Miles on January 3rd, 2005. And we appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Now listen, we're going to put this on a VCR tape and a DVD. We're going to give it to you and your family to keep. And we're going Chad's going to give it to the Veterans Project for their work. And if you don't mind, I mean, I assume you don't mind. That's what it's for. And you owe us $100 for coming over here. Making you a star. I knew you had it. I knew, look at there. I knew he had it. He ain't fooling me. If you're short, I'm going to be mad. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Learned some things I wouldn't have ever known before.
Do what?
I learned one thing I'd never known before. You were a tech sergeant longer than any man in the United States Army history.
Dale, you are kidding. But I'll bet you $100 that I was.
I'm telling you that. Did you ever get lose a stripe or anything during that period of time, or just didn't get promoted? Just didn't get promoted.
They just didn't promote anyone from Korea until the new stripes came out. 1962. 1960.
We're off the camera now,
But it was
but about the Iraqi war now that we're in.
don't like it a bit. I think it's the biggest waste of money.
And people.
We should not have, Bush should have to go sleep with some of those families at night. He should have to be over there with them.
Yeah. You're exactly right. I agree with you 100%.
Damn
Cut that off, Dave. That's good. Arnold, we thank you so much.
I don't even.
I don't either. I think it's horrible.
Pretend to like it.
Neither. Should have never gone in there.
You just don't think it's going to do any good,
No,
Arnold?
They've been fighting.
You just don't think it's going to do any good?
No. I don't think that you will ever see peace in the Middle East.
I agree with that.
Those people don't have a one iota value for a human being.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Exactly right. All right.
So, where all these people have been killed, 75,000
Mm-hmm.
people have been killed. I was on those beaches in oh my God.
Sri Lanka? Was it in Sri Lanka?
Been there, but not on that beach. But I was on that beach in
Thailand.
Thailand,
Phuket.
Yeah. and they are nothing. There's 10 shacks, just right side by side, and every one of them got at least 15 people in them.
Mm-hmm. Didn't stand a prayer, did he?
Oh hell, it's pitiful.